Hi and welcome along to the Invincible podcast with my man, the judge himself. Lee Judge is in the building. Oh, he's feeling a bit up for it today. And why wouldn't you be? Because the team are performing well, Lee. I mean, listen, the game at the weekend against Brentford, I felt that's another one of those tricky tests. Remember, well, I don't even have to ask if you remember. We all remember. Last year, first game of the season, went to Brentford, got absolutely bullied from start to finish in that game. And that was the start of a very miserable period for Arsenal. We went on to lose our first 3 games. And it was awful. It was awful. And that sort of result, there was a few of them. There was a few of them over the season. There was then the Palace one and that. But what Arsenal have done so far this season, they've gone and rectified those. The first one they did was the Palace one. They went and they said, right, last year you bullied us. Well, nah, you're not doing that this year. Beat Palace. Then this one, I think even more impressive because, you know, Brentford went into this on a bit of form. You know, their main man, Ivan Toney's just been called up for England. You know, there was a lot of people who were looking at this. I remember speaking to one of my mates and he's going, Robbie, early kick-off, 12 o'clock. Right? He goes, 12 o'clock kick-off, you lot don't do those well. Brentford, Ivan Toney, all them, man, are going to be up for it. He goes, boy. He goes, I don't think you lose, but I think it's going to be a draw. I was going, yeah, you reckon? I go, listen, this is a different Arsenal going into this game. And it was a different Arsenal.
Proved to be, and that was a good thing. I think this was a massive game for many reasons because I look back on it after the Man United defeat. That was our next league game. Didn't have the home comforts because we'd have played Everton the following week, so didn't have that. There was also my big worry with Arsenal is like, we won 3 or 4 games and then last season lose 2 or 3. You know what I mean? So that was a big thing for me. Like, what were they going to go and do? I've got to say, that was magnificent. Yeah. Magnificent. I thought they played really, really well. I can't remember, and I'll be honest, I'll go even when we was in the Invincible side. Right? I cannot remember when I've gone to a game and been 2-0 up at half-time and felt so comfortable. Even when we was playing well in other games, you think, if they nick one, they're going to get in that. You know, sometimes you'd be holding on and whatever. Like, it was as comfortable win. I can't remember the last time that it was like that, where I've just felt so comfortable from start to finish. You know, like when you're just thinking, if they get one here, it's going to be this and that. It never looked like they was going to score.
It was a
completely dominant performance in possession and out of possession. I think that's key as well because I think at times we've always been, going back to when we was playing some fantastic stuff at the Emirates, beginning of Arsene Wenger's reign, playing really good, always looked like dodgy and we can concede goals. Always good going forward, but look dodgy at the back. This performance had it all. Yeah. I know it was Brentford and all that lot, but it's Brentford on the back of beating Man United and Leeds United. Two big clubs. Yeah. Got good results.
Putting 4 past each of them.
4 and 5.
Yeah.
Let's get that in. 4 and 5.
It was a very, very impressive performance. And, like you said, Brentford hardly touched the ball. Ivan Toney, their most dangerous player, I don't remember him having a shot.
No,
I don't remember him having a shot in the whole game. He got completely marked out of the game. You know what I mean? All their dangerous players were nullified. And the way we kept the ball and the way we moved the ball and, yet again, Gabriel Jesus...
Ugh.
This guy is proving to be a bargain at £45 million. Great header by him. I thought Saliba at the back was fantastic as well. Yeah. With Gabriel, both of them actually, because Gabriel's had a few little dodgy moments.
Responded, didn't he? Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah, he played.
There's a little bit of talk about whether he should be in the side at this moment in time.
I couldn't believe people.
He's had a couple of bad games. With Gabriel, I'll be honest with you, I think he's. Like starts the games a little bit dodgy, his concentration levels maybe not quite so good. I also think with Saliba playing, who's this like Rolls Royce of a defender, it's just highlighted a little bit of his indeficiencies. But what I mean? Yeah. Like not in a bad, but he's a little bit more rash and whatever. But he's still a very, very good defender. Yeah. I thought he was brilliant. I thought he was actually better than Saliba on the day.
Funny enough, is they said for the first goal, the header, that Saliba scored. And when I was watching back the highlights on TV, like the guy was co-commentating. He goes, Arsenal's such a big side now. He goes, it's not like one side.
Yeah.
So you got a guy like Saliba. I mean, he's huge. He's a big guy, that guy, man. And so is Gabriel. They're two big, strong centre backs.
And I've got to make a little bit of a confession or own up to a mistake, because I was actually done the players' ratings on. I did them on. I actually give him a 7 out of 10. Right?
Yeah, Saliba.
Yeah, Saliba. Right, and I got pillared for it. And I actually, you know what, because we won, I thought I'd go back and look at the game. And I looked at it going, oh, yeah, I've got that wrong. And corrected it to an 8 going on 9. I've got to say that. But when you actually, in my defence, when I watched the game, and that game, I just think because he's been so good for us, you just expected that performance from him. I didn't think it was, I just thought, oh, that's Saliba, yeah. You know what I mean?
No, it was good, man.
But when I actually look back on it, and I think this is the greatest thing, when you watch games live, to watch it on telly, sometimes you just miss.
You miss some little things,
little things that he does.
Like maybe you missed the third goal, which was unbelievable goal.
Yeah,
we get to that. He starts it by he's under pressure, and the way he just gets away from the player, the striker, and just starts that attack.
But you don't.
I mean, he draws the player on. Even his goal. His movement.
It was fantastic.
He comes from behind Ivan Toney, comes in front of him and just gets on the end of it. I mean, he had an outstanding game.
He was, but I just think that that's. Do you know what I say with him? Like, that's the norm. That's what I was probably like getting. He's been putting in those performances all the time. So it wasn't a standout performance. Do you see what I'm saying? But when you actually like watching the game, when you look back on it, you think, oh, because I was looking, I thought I'm getting a bit of stick here, like, I'm a bit have a look. When I look back and I thought, oh yeah, like, you know what I mean, it was much better than what I actually thought he was, and you know, you do forget.
So you admit you got it wrong then?
I admit I got it wrong. I got it wrong.
But yeah, I'll tell you another person who had a great game, and when I don't know who you made your man of the match in the player ratings. But in my player ratings, I made the man in the match, Granit Xhaka.
I did as well.
You did as well?
Yeah. Thanks for watching my one. I watch your one, you don't watch my one.
Shut up.
Hey, I'm real, that. I'm real. Confession time, mate.
I've been a bit busy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I watched your fan cam.
Oh, thank you very much.
I watched your fan cam. Your fan cam was very good.
Thank you.
But then I was out, when your the other one dropped, I think it was Monday, I was out on Monday.
Yeah,
But Granit Xhaka.
Outstanding.
Wow.
Well, I'll tell you what. If Lionel Messi or Ronaldo put that pass in, like, you know what I mean, we're going on to it. We go on to why I don't like Arsenal there. But it's not been given the credit it deserves. It was sensational. Oh, too much time on the ball. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, well, we still had much time on the ball. We still had to deliver the perfect cross. And what was great about that was, I don't know if you've noticed it, in the celebration, Jesus, you know, kisses his left foot, like, you know, that's how good it was.
Yeah.
It was a fantastic ball. I thought he was brilliant on the day and led it well. And I've got to say this, the end, when he was clapping the fans and we was all singing his name. I got emotional. I was emotional about that. It was we're not all crying. It was very emotional. See, I've got feelings. This is the thing. Like, I've got feelings for this club. You know what I mean?
It was a lovely moment.
It was a.
Do you know what? Fair play
moment
to him. What I liked about it, he obviously touched him, because did you see the little video he did?
Yes, fantastic.
Where he's like, "Thank you." I mean, like,
it meant something to him.
That meant a lot to him, and that. It is an emotional moment, because, you know, it's like he's won back over the fans.
Yeah,
he's won them back. He was a captain. If he would have been the captain a year and a half ago, everybody would be moaning before the game even started. Like, yo,
no one
why
mentioned that.
Has he got not even a mention? And I'm not talking about after the game. I'm talking about when the game started. Like, we was in the studio, like, oh, Granit Xhaka's captain. Okay.
Yeah, same,
you know what I mean?
In the stadium,
right?
Yeah.
And he was outstanding in the game. Like you said, on and off the ball, brilliant. Leadership.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw when they scored the first goal, Saliba, he literally got the players into a little huddle.
And started
said, yo, listen, right, great start, but let's concentrate. We can build on this. You could tell that's what he was saying. And I love that. I love the fact that the fans, you know, it's like a redemption for him.
Yeah.
The fans are appreciating what he's doing, right? He's appreciating the fans. It was great. It was fantastic. He's really won the fans back over.
Yeah.
And I think, listen, that's not just this season. I felt, and I said it, last season, he was consistent. The only thing that ruined him last season was the sending offs. That was the only thing that I was like, yo, bro, you've got to sort it out. When he was on the pitch and playing, he was consistent. He was selfless. You know what I mean? He manager says play left back, he's playing left back. Manager says he did. And now it finally looks that we've found the right position for him, which is as a box-to-box player. And he is excelling. I can't fault him at the moment. He's been very good.
There was key moments when he drops in for players which people don't see.
Yeah.
Drops in there and he's very selfish. You know what I mean? Like he selfish is that the word I'm looking for?
Selfless.
Selfless. He doesn't.
He said he's selfish.
No. He might be when he's at the dinner table, but certainly not like anything else. And he was great. And I actually looked around at the crowd. When I was singing, and everyone was singing that song. It was like, it was really I think a special moment. It was a special moment for player and fans.
Yeah, no, it was a great moment, and the goal by Fabio Vieira was a special moment. I mean, there's a lot of special moments in the game. Fabio Vieira on his full Arsenal debut with that absolute banger.
Oh, it was. You know what I mean. Listen, he struggled in the first 20 minutes and then got into the game, and I thought he had some neat touches and all that. And then the goal, well, I have to say, when he hit it, like, you know what I mean, there was a stunned silence for a second because it was that, didn't expect it to go. It was that clean, yeah.
And we're not used to seeing people strike the ball
first
from
of all,
outside
what's
the
he
box.
doing? He's hitting the ball outside the box, but that's the first and last time you see him do that. But no, it was a fantastic goal, and the celebration, he couldn't wait to get over to the fans and all that. There's something special about Arsenal at the minute. I've got to say that going to games and even if you're watching it on the TV, you can see there's something.
And then another special moment, right near the end, where 15-year-old Ethan Nwaneri gets on the pitch for making him the youngest Arsenal player to ever start a Premier League game, and the youngest player, beating Harvey Elliott of Liverpool, who was previously the youngest player at 16 when he played for Fulham. He got onto the pitch, which then was another great moment, wasn't it?
I enjoyed it. I don't know. It's upset a few people, but I don't know why. But for me, it's a poignant moment. I've seen other players, young kids, make their debut and go on and not being criticised for it and all that. Like, it was 3 minutes left of the game. You know what I mean? Like, I just thought it was a very good moment. And he must be I have not heard of him. Right? I'm going to say that now. I've not heard of him. No, there's been no whispers. Sometimes you can hear whispers coming through and all that. But put it in 15 years old to be playing in the Premier League is unbelievable.
Unreal. You know what? Ty. Ty goes obviously goes to watch all them youth games and that, right? And I asked Ty, because I'd never heard of him. Even when before the game and I saw his name. I was like, who's this?
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's 15. I was going, 15? And a couple of the guys were saying, is that how desperate we are that our squad's so thin that we're having to play a 15-year-old? And kind of, we were thin in that part. That's why he got the shout. But then you still look at him thinking, 15? And then, I spoke to Ty on Monday, and I said to Ty, Ty, you got to watch a lot of them youth games. You ever heard of that kid before you come on? Ty goes, yeah. He goes, I went to a game a couple of weeks ago. He goes, I think Arsenal were playing Blackburn, under 21s, I think he said, right? And he goes, when he went into the game, he goes, one of the coaches at Arsenal that he knows sort of said to him, he goes, watch out for this kid, Ethan Nwaneri. Goes, top notch. He goes, he's going to be the next big thing. So he told him then, that was a couple of weeks ago, watch out for him. He's obviously, impressed so much that they probably, because Mikel Arteta's been doing this thing recently where he's been making a lot of young players train with the first team.
Yeah, and getting him involved.
He's obviously trained so well that they're like, wow, all right, you know what, he's ready. We probably won't use him, but he's ready. And probably the reason why they brought him on for those 3 minutes was to, you know in football, right? A lot of managers will like reward
good work,
players
hard work.
sometimes for, you speak to a lot of managers, they tell you that, because I mean, I can't, was it, I forget which manager it was before that I spoke to, but I asked a question, I was like, why is it sometimes you bring a player on, is like a minute to go, and you bring the player on? That's all why. And what that manager explained to me that time, he goes, sometimes what managers like to do is reward a player who's trained brilliantly. Yeah. So if you get on, you get a little player bonus as well.
Yeah, of course.
So I'd be like, managers will sometimes say, like, listen, you haven't managed to get on today, but you know what? You've worked so hard during the week. You've trained so well that, warm up, you're coming on. And then when they get on there, they get the bonus. And I think in the case of this kid, it's not a case of a bonus. It's a case of you get a taste of first team football. So that's your rewards. But the reaction to it by Jason, did you see the Jason Cundy one? Danny Murphy. You know what? Actually, in this video, I want to ask this question, actually, right? People have been pointing this out to me before in the past. And I've been saying, nah, you lot, come on. They're not. Like, they'll be like, oh, why are Arsenal being targeted? Why Arsenal? I actually starting to now think
100%
that there is people are hating on Arsenal because such a great moment like that, a 15-year-old kid
being
making his debut. And then I saw what Jason Cundy said on TalkSport, where he was saying that he felt that Mikel Arteta brought him on just to make it all about him, and it was a very selfish thing to do. It was all about me. I'm just going to bring him on to say to everybody, I started the youngest ever player in the Premier League. I thought that was poor by Jason Cundy. And I know Jason Cundy, and he's all right? I have a bit of banter with him and stuff like that. I've been on his show, right? And I think he's an all right guy. But he was chatting absolute rubbish. That's a reward for a kid that's trained hard. And there's no way that kid would be in the Arsenal first team if he didn't have the right
what surprises
temperament, if he didn't have the right mindset.
That's what surprises me about these players, because they've been there. You know what I mean? Like,
he said, Jason Cundy said he was on the bench at 17.
Listen, there's always that been going on. Like, even when I was playing in semi-pro, they'd bring a kid along and say, look, just to get to experience it, like, you know what I mean? And if they could get you on, they actually say, I remember being a kid when I was at Hendon, they go, look, we're taking you, but we're not, you probably won't get on. But if there's an opportunity to get you on, we will. You know what I mean? Like, so you're hoping like it's going to be about 3 or 4-0. You might get,
which was the case in this
case scenario. Yeah. That's how it is. So it's been going on for a very, very long time. We're taking him with the first team, travelling and all that, because that's part of your education. Because that's what it's going to be like. See what it's going to be like. See how it's going to be. And for players like that to have a go, and it amazes me that when he turns around and says, it's all about Mikel Arteta. Well, nothing was mentioned until they started bringing all it up about Mikel Arteta. You know what I mean? For me, it was a good moment on the Sunday, and that's it. But
Mikel Arteta
brought it up and started slagging him up.
But you know the thing is about it, right, is they obviously don't study Arsenal as well, because Mikel Arteta last season, lots of games. Go back and look at the team sheets, right?
Yeah, bring them.
He had kids on the bench.
Yeah, he's done it.
He didn't always bring them. Most of them, they didn't get on because
he didn't have the opportunity.
He didn't have the opportunity to bring them on. But he had youngsters on that bench literally every game. A lot of that was to do with the fact that the squad was so thin. But he had youngsters from the academy on the bench. He gave Charlie Patino a start in one of his games as a youngster. And plus as well, is this, do you think that Arsenal and Mikel Arteta would do that out of vanity, and knowing that if you do that to the wrong kid, you could ruin them?
Of course you
They
can.
know this kid must have the right mindset.
100%.
He must have the right temperament. He must have great family and parents behind him. He must have been recommended, which they did say, by Per Mertesacker. Granit Xhaka came out after the game and said, you can see in training that this kid's beyond his years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no way Mikel Arteta is going to do that just to say, I'm Mikel Arteta and I brought on the youngest ever player. And young players have come on in the past and gone on to have great... Look at Harvey Elliott, who was the previous youngest.
Yeah, done really well.
When he's at Fulham, he came on at 16. What is he doing now? At 19 years old, right? He's starting every week for Liverpool.
Yeah.
Every week in, week out. Martin Odegaard made his debut at 15 as well.
Yeah, people forget that, you know what I mean? Theo Walcott, you know what I mean?
Theo Walcott, 16.
James Milner was the youngest player at one time. I don't think he's had a bad career, has he? Like,
Pele.
You know, so
Pele was playing in the World Cup.
17.
The World Cup and starring at the World Cup at the age of 17. And that was, we're talking about back in the 60s.
So
it's not all right, he's the youngest ever, but for a manager to give a young player like that a chance, you know, what's wrong with that? I mean, what's with all this hate? What's with all this hate, Lee? Listen, I'm starting to look at something. There's that one. There's the other day, Richard Keys.
Yeah.
Richard. Yeah, Richard Keys. Why are Arsenal celebrating the win?
All of a sudden, he's relevant, isn't he? He's relevant because Arsenal are a big club. We've always had this. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. And this, you might think this, because I've actually watched the game live back against Brentford, right? And then I've seen the highlights from Sky and on Match of the Day, right? Our first goal, the second goal when Jesus scores the goal, right? They don't show the build up from the goalkeeper down to the field. They show it from when Vieira gets it to Xhaka for the goal. But if that's a fantastic goal from start to finish, but they don't show that.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I mean, if that was Man City, they'd be showing it every week or whatever. Because it's Arsenal, we just cut that bit out. We cut out the 15 passes before that, and we're just showing this bit. But we are looked at differently. We're refereed differently. You know, Jesus, one booking when he was at Man City last season. He's had 4 already this season.
Yeah.
And I look at it and go, yes, I'm gonna, before anybody jumps on the bandwagon, yes, Granit Xhaka and Jesus were bookable offences. So was the one on Partey when he'd done all 4 of them.
Yep.
Let him off.
And you could see Jesus in the game saying that
First one.
And
so
he weren't even.
We're refereed differently. We're looked at by the media differently.
Because I'm still that Richard Keys one, where again that came out of nowhere.
What?
That came out of nowhere. Even I remember Nigel de Jong was in the studio with him and goes,
I see that.
They're top of the league and they've won the game. Why can't they celebrate? He goes, well, I'd be celebrating too. But for some reason, just like this guy's so upset that Arsenal have won and that he's like, why? The way they're celebrating, making a big deal of it. And you're like, shut your mouth. What are you on about?
And we won. I remember Chelsea and Tottenham when they drew, all jumping into the crowd and celebrating with at the end, and rightly so because they've got a point at
rightly
Chelsea.
So,
and I've got no
but nobody said anything about it.
I ain't got a problem with it. No one said anything. No one had a go at them for drawing the game and celebrating. I remember you go back to last season when we got a point at Crystal Palace and Lacazette scored the last minute equaliser.
Yeah.
Oh, look at them all celebrating because we drawn, like, you know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Like, they drawn a game. Now they're celebrating when we win a game, but when other teams do it, nothing's said. It's great, isn't it?
I don't get it.
I love it. Because you know why? Because it means Arsenal are back.
Ivan Toney, right? Ivan Toney, when Brentford beat Arsenal last year, he put out his famous tweet, right? Just having a kickabout with the boys.
Yeah.
Right? Which, as a professional footballer, you know that if you put something out like that, that winds up players. We saw in the All or Nothing documentary, Mikel Arteta put the quote up on the big screen and said, remember last time what this guy said about nice kickabout with the boys? Go out there and sort these men out, which we did. Now we've played them and beaten them comfortably. As a matter of fact, Ivan Toney, if you were scoring him out of 10 in a game, you'd have probably be lucky to get a 2. He was anonymous. And I rate him as a footballer, by the way.
I do.
Congratulations to him getting his England call up, and he's a quality player. But I'm sorry, you had an absolute stinker. You lost Saliba on the goal, right?
Yeah.
Right? You were marking him, you lost him, and you didn't even have a shot in the game. And you didn't even have a pass in the game of any. You did nothing in the game, right? And now I see yesterday that this guy's getting upset, saying, "Oh, I had to bite my tongue because the first reply, all right, they responded to what Gabriel responded, but I had to bite my tongue that they're having to. It's cringy. It's cringy that." You're the one who done it in the first place. Nobody put out anything from Arsenal's side when they beat teams. You never see any Arsenal player coming out and doing stuff like that, right? And you've put out that. You know, as a footballer, that has consequences. You know that winds people up. Other players are going to be waiting for you.
Fans are going to be
waiting for you. And now you're getting it now. Now you're crying.
And it's great.
It's cringy. I had to bite my tongue. I was going to respond. Respond then. What are you going to respond and say? You lost 3-0.
Yeah.
You was one of the worst players on the pitch. Respond and say what?
He said, like, lovely kick about it. He never got a kick. Never got a kick. Put that out there.
Hate, man.
The thing is,
what's with all this hate?
He's put it out there, right? And it will always come and bite him because at the end of the day, Arsenal are a bigger and better club than Brentford, and so we will get our payback. But a bit like Troy Deeney with what he's won, he's never lived that down.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Learn your lesson. But I say, every time we play Brentford now, that's going to happen.
Yeah,
every time we
should have thought about that before you.
We're going to be on him.
Didn't think about that, did you? Just didn't engage your brain before you put the tweet out.
And I'll tell you this now. Professional players, if weren't like that, I wouldn't.
No, they won't.
Every single time now we're playing you, someone will remind you of that. So every single time he plays against Arsenal now, that will be reminded of.
Do you remember in the summer? I was chatting on another show the other day, and I was saying this. That I didn't remember that Jack Grealish, when City won the league, he made some comment about Miguel Almiron. And he said that like Mahrez, like he was mocking him, mocking Mahrez, like as he say, you're just like, you're as good as you're like Miguel Almiron, as if like he's dissing him.
Yeah.
When they played Newcastle, Miguel Almiron played out his skin.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
and had a great game. But not only that, every Newcastle player was pumped. Every time Grealish, they put it on him he was getting hacked down every time he got the ball. The fans were on his case.
Yeah.
Listen, you've got to be able to back it up. Be like, that's the guy I rate Ibrahimovic, because he'll put out something and he'll back it.
Yeah.
Right? But this guy now, he's crying. Oh, it's cringy. Why did you put out the thing in the first place? If you hadn't have done that, stop the hate, man.
It's great.
Stop the hate.
I like the thing with Jack Grealish. You probably didn't mean what he's been, not really being that famous, but it can come back and bite you.
Yeah. I mean, in the Jack Grealish one, it was more of a like he said something.
Yeah, it was
that
more
probably they behind the scenes they'd be saying it. He shouldn't have really said it when and it slipped out.
Yeah.
But this one with Ivan Toney
was thought of.
He's like, right, I'm gonna bang a tweet out, man. I'm gonna stick it on. Yeah, we beat Arsenal. It's the first game of the season. Relax.
I have to say this. I don't know if it is because Arsenal got a big media following or like social media following, whatever. Richard Keys has been forgotten over the last sort of few years for whatever. Like, don't get me wrong, got a fantastic job out in Dubai. Good luck to him, like, you know what I mean. But all of a sudden, he's now being talked to. Like every time Arsenal win a game now and celebrate, Richard Keys in there, he must be loving it. Like, forget about him, forget about him. Don't So I think that there is a little bit of that. Let's jump on there to get myself a bit relevant.
Yeah, because when he came out and said about Arsenal celebrating, that was unprovoked.
Yeah, it was unnecessary.
The other thing. This is another bit of hating that I keep seeing now in the press. Oh, they ain't played anyone. Still ain't played anyone. Arsenal, they ain't played anyone. Listen, I'm not saying Arsenal are going to win the Premier League, right? But they ain't played anyone, right? You got to beat what's in front of you, right? Brentford beat Man United 4-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brentford beat Leeds by 5 goals. Yeah? A guy said to me the other day, he goes, who have you played, Robbie? Aston Villa.
Yeah.
I go, Villa drew with City.
Yeah.
When I said that to him, he goes, yeah, but, once Haaland gets... I go, no, hold on, wait. No, you just asked, you just said to me, who have you played? Aston Villa. I said, we beat Aston Villa, right? They drew with Manchester City.
Palace.
As a matter of fact, there's a lot of people saying they should have won the game because they had a legitimate goal disallowed. So I said, bro... I mean, what's wrong? We now we have to get any plaudits, we have to beat City, or we have to beat Liverpool or something. Yeah. Otherwise, you can't even get plaudits for beating.
Oh, there'd be some excuse then if we do that, like, you know.
Yeah, if we beat Tottenham next week, it'll probably be like something. They'll find something. if we beat,
they're saying Tottenham are not a decent side, wouldn't they? They'd probably be saying that, wouldn't they?
Yeah. If we, what it was,
Tottenham.
What it was Harry Kane and those guys were on the international duty.
I
mean, they'll find something, man. Stop hating on Arsenal and big up and give Arsenal their plaudits at the moment. We're playing great football and we're top of the league. We're not saying we're going to stay there, right? But we have started the season well. Even in our defeat against Manchester United, we played great football. When you speak to neutral fans who don't have an agenda, they'll be like, "Hey, you know what? Should have beaten United." Yeah. I spoke to United fans who said to me,
they knew they was lucky.
Off camera. They said, "You know, we were lucky."
And I don't care, Palace drew with Liverpool away, you know what I mean? Another one like that. I don't care what everybody's got to say about all this. I am enjoying watching Arsenal Football Club at the minute. I am enjoying going to games and I'm enjoying it. And they can slag off that. Listen, criticise Arteta as much as you like if he loses games like he was for that. But at this moment in time, if you're finding things like playing a 15-year-old kid to criticise the manager, he's doing bloody well, you know what I mean? Because I'm more than happy that I'm being, I'll be honest. I felt that he should have probably got sacked last season or whatever, but he didn't, and he's now proving everybody that that's the right decision. You know what I mean? Like, back your manager, you know what I mean? Credit to the people that have, and also credit to the board that have not jumped ship on him. Enjoy it. I am enjoying watching Arsenal, not only going to the games at the minute, I'm enjoying watching them play, the way they're playing. I was speaking to a Spurs fan yesterday, you know what I mean? He goes, not only are you winning games of football, you're playing really, really well and it's enjoyable, and I think, we are. It is enjoyable. It's winning football, but it's good on the eye as well, Robbie. Everything about Arsenal is good at the minute. So let the haters hate and let us enjoy.
Yeah, because honestly, it's been winding up a bit now because I'm like, when are they going to start giving us some credit, proper credit? Because like you said, the football that we are playing right now, I think is the best in the Premier League.
Yeah, I've said that.
I'm serious. I think, because even if you've got Man City, right? Obviously, Man City, they're a brilliant team, but they've not been consistently good this season. I mean, they've not. I think... And we know, listen, it's not to say that then we know what they do. They sometimes start, like last season, they started a bit slowly. And then once they got going, they were unbelievable, right? We know what Man City can do. But as it stands at the moment, I feel that in the Premier League, Arsenal are playing a better football. They're playing better football than Spurs. Spurs are getting results, yes, but even if you go and speak to Spurs fans, they'll say they're not being too happy with the style of football.
Yeah.
Right? But they're getting results, so they're tolerating it because they're just like, we just want to win something. But we're playing better football than Spurs. We're playing better football than City. We're playing better football than Chelsea and Man United, right?
And Liverpool.
Now, I challenge anybody out there to tell me that that's not true. Right now. Remember, we're talking about right now. I challenge anybody out there to tell me that I'm being, untruthful. That we are playing great football, free flowing, exciting, controlled attacking football. We've got some quality players. Gabriel Jesus, one of the best signings of the summer, right? You know what I mean? That front three of him, Martinelli, Saka, dangerous, right? Martin Odegaard's been brilliant, right? Thomas Partey, we see what we miss with this guy when he's out, anchoring that midfield. Granit Xhaka. Don't hate on him. You can hate on him for his over the past years, but this year and last year, you guys been playing well. Give him his props. And then in the defence, Saliba, Gabriel. There's loads of teams out there would love to have those two.
I wouldn't swap them in. I wouldn't swap them two.
Ben White, been playing superb. Kieran Tierney, I thought, had a great game.
Yeah, played well last night.
Played well last night for Scotland as well, right? He's been playing well. And Aaron Ramsdale, we've been playing well, and the manager's making good decisions. And then instead of giving the partner their flowers, now you want to come on, man, like Jason Cundy, Richard Keys with his little unprovoked. Yeah. That's the thing, unprovoked attack. Ivan Toney whinging when you started it.
Yeah, great, isn't it? I love it.
We got more wound up.
I love it, like, you know what I mean?
We got more wound up, Lee.
And do you know what? There was a time years ago that I used to be a little bit wound up by it all now, but all of a sudden, we've had all the great years and we've had a few difficult years, right? And it's all been banter and no one's really been having a go at us for that, like, you know. All of a sudden, it's come back now.
Yeah.
So I'm embracing it now, like, because now I've realised that the reason why we wasn't talked about that through those barren years is because no one cared because we weren't good. Do you know what I mean? Like, but we are now a dangerous animal again. Like, you know, I'm not saying we're going to win the league, but I can tell you that we look like we're going to be there and thereabouts in the top 4 race this season. We look like we've made some very, very astute signings. We've also made astute signings without going mad, bringing £100 million players in, like, you know, and we are the Arsenal. No other club. You don't say that. The Tottenham Hotspur, the Man United, the Arsenal. It's got a ring about it. Love it. The.
Or V.
It's just something. It's just, isn't it?
Or if you said it in France, le.
It's just something about it. It's just something about it that's got
authority.
It's got, like, and I think, like, I honestly believe this, and there is a little bit of jealousy about Arsenal. It is this club with this classy sort of thing to it. You know what I mean? The marble halls and it's just got that thing that other teams haven't got.
It's a big club as well. Yeah. That's the thing that, you know, even though we haven't won nothing recently, we've not been, you know, fulfilling what we should be fulfilling. Everybody knows, right? If this club gets it right, they're in trouble. Yeah, because this is a big club with a massive fan base worldwide.
Look at Jesus. I know, like, you know, he must be sitting there going, like, you know, I've left Manchester City, but I've actually left Manchester City for a bigger club.
Yeah, that's facts.
That's a fact. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I look up and every seat's filled. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and the support, you know what I mean, is unbelievable at Arsenal. All around, you know, it's unbelievable at the moment. But he's actually doing the, you know, and that's inspired him, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's, you know what I mean, like, I'm a, you know, when they go, oh, you're at a bigger club, or a bigger fish in a small pond. Well, he's actually now gone to a bigger pond. Right? He's actually got to a bigger pond than Man City, and he's swimming freely around it. Like, you know what I mean? And I absolutely love it. Like, you know what I mean?
No, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. You know, I just was thinking about it, man. When come January, I just want Arsenal to a couple of signings.
Well, that's when they've got to show that they're a big club.
I think, you know, a defensive midfielder. And maybe, I don't know, maybe still...
Free signings, free players.
You know, I really think, you know, if we... What I want to see, if we're still in this sort of position, there or thereabouts, like, you know, 1, 2, 3 in the league. I want them to really go for it. Because you never know this year. It's a strange year. We was talking about it yesterday. It's a strange year, man. You never know what might happen, man, with the World Cup slap bang in the middle.
Yeah, you don't know.
This could be a season that's different to all others that could, you know. I mean, even I was looking at it the other day, and obviously we're on the international break at the moment, and Kieran Tierney was playing last night. But again, we go into that game against Tottenham. Gabriel Jesus rested up. Gabriel Magalhaes rested up. Martinelli rested up. None of them called up. Ben White rested up. Did Partey?
I think Partey's gone. He's gone.
That's the only
whether he's a player or not. But they're friendlies that he's playing.
He's their main guy. Yeah, I think they've got Brazil.
So they're playing, but they'll be cautious. And surely they will be. Like,
but those key players there, those 4 players, they ain't going.
Yeah,
they're going to be training and ready for that game. That could be a big plus for Arsenal, that they've not have to, like, you know, go away around Europe, around the world, playing pretty competitive games, you know. That might work in our favour. So,
yeah, could do.
Yeah, because that's a big game next week, man. And of course, no doubt, that's going to be, you know, now you've got another test. And if we were to win that, but you always beat Tottenham at home.
Right, yeah. I think this is the month now. I'm actually looking forward to this month coming up now. But we've got Tottenham, we've got Liverpool, We've got European games in there as well. We've got Leeds, who's not going to be an easy game. Nottingham Forest, you know what I mean? So we've got some tough games in there. But I look at it like, you know, with those games there, we've got Tottenham, Liverpool at home. And that's, to me...
I think, you know what,
I think that, you know, at home we've got...
I think if we could come out of those two with positive results,
it
really does put us in a good way. I'll tell you, they're vital games, you know. Because, you know, obviously, you know, Tottenham haven't lost a game this season and they've been going well, right? And Liverpool are Liverpool, right? Even though they've had a few setbacks. But if we can come out of those two games with... Say we came out of those two even with 4 points, like a win and a draw. I'd take that. I mean, I want to win both of them.
I'm backing us to win both.
Yeah, I personally want to win both of those games, but I think come out of those two positively, you can really start looking at his team and thinking,
100%.
People might, some of the haters, I don't know, you might have to put them on suicide watch, you know what I mean?
Well,
if we was to win those two.
There'd be some sort of excuses coming out, and let's hope that there is, because that means we're doing well. Like,
yeah. Actually, every Arsenal fan, that's true. Start taking these things as positives. Every time you hear Jason Cundy whinging, you hear Richard Keys, you hear players like Ivan Toney coming out and saying what they're saying, that means we're doing something well.
It was saying on the radio yesterday, like, Jack Grealish is coming in for a lot of stick, right? And the reason is because there's nothing else you can slag Manchester City off for.
Yeah.
All right? So it's not a bad thing, is it? You know what I mean? Like,
it's not.
So, like, that's how you got to look at it. So, like, they can't slag off Arsenal for not winning games. They can't slag off Arsenal for not scoring. They can't slag off Arsenal for the way we're playing. You know what I mean? I'll say, we can have a go at this and we can have a go at this. So they're looking. Bring it on.
Yeah, bring it on. It's all positive. Listen, enjoyed the show today. Looking forward to, we've got a very special show next week, right? Because obviously it's the North London derby, and we're going to be looking forward and looking ahead to that, right? So look out for next week's Invincible podcast. It's going to be huge, right? Because we're looking forward to an absolutely huge game to kick everything back off again after the international break, and there's no bigger game, right? So make sure you check it out. Don't forget to subscribe here, become a member. Also, look out, we've got a brilliant interview that I did this week with ex-Arsenal Vice Chairman David Dean.
Yeah, we did talk about that, didn't we?
Absolutely brilliant interview.
I've seen a little snippet of it, like upstairs.
I loved every minute of it. So please.
It reveals some good stuff in that as
Reveals a lot. Actually, you know what I mean? And he's got a new book out as well, which is brilliant, and really sort of tells a sort of story of one of the reasons why Arsenal were or have been in the doldrums for such a long time. Give that interview a look. Once that comes out, will be out before the end of this week. So make sure you check that out. And thanks very much for being here, and we'll see you next week. And Arsenal, keep making the haters hate.
Love it.
The Invincible podcast. Myself, Robbie, and Lee Judges come together once a week to discuss all things Arsenal. Straight talking, considered discussion, brought to you by the fans of the only club in Football League history to go invincible.